because we have been a bit on the go for the last month, which has been great, but also I think the tiredness has caught up with us.
After eating dinner last night, about midnight, I woke up and my tummy was hurting, and I've been food poisoned enough while I was travelling now that I knew exactly what it was.
We've decided to come and chill by the pool today, and we found one of the last in the shade sunbeds.
Hey everyone, and welcome to our channel. We are Hannah and Jonny, two travellers on an endless adventure. In 2017, we started finding our adventure to travel full time. Since then, we've lived in a camper van with our cats, learnt to surf, and even moved to Cornwall. Hit the subscribe button to join us each week for a new episode of Finding Our Adventure, as we search for adventures big and small.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Finding Our Adventure. Today we have found ourselves just further northwest on the island of Gili Asahan. We have arrived at Blue Mathis, which is another resort here and on the island, and we're really excited. We just arrived by boat and we have been welcomed with some refreshing drinks, and we've also got this, which we thought they would look like little sweets, but I think they're to clean your hands, so you put it in the water and then it expands, but they look like tablets. I've never seen anything like that before. It says towel on it, so I wonder how big it gets. It just turns into a massive towel. But yeah, really excited to be here. We're going to check into our room in a bit, so we'll show you around. And we're here for 3 nights, so we're really excited just to get into exploring a bit more of the island and relaxing.
Just going to try one of these expanding towels. I seem to remember something like this when I was younger, like flannels that you'd put in water and it would expand. So here we go. It's like Harry Potter, isn't it? It's like something out of the magic.
Like a tampon.
There you go. And now you have.
Actually unravels.
Yeah. So it literally feels like something.
It turns into a pad.
And there you have it.
Wow.
A tea towel to clean your face with after a long journey, even though ours was only like 5 minutes.
We have just checked into our panoramic plunge view villa, and it is incredible. The views from up here are just amazing. So just wait a minute before we show you the views, because I'm going to give you a quick room tour of our room. So we are very lucky to have aircon in here, and we've got a very modern kind of clean, airy feel. We've got a lovely bed. We've got a really cool desk here with this really nice wood. Got a little palm tree just here I'm falling into, and then opposite the desk we've got lots of storage space. Got a safe just in there, and then we've got umbrellas. We've also got some hanging space just in here. We're given some kimonos. I'm not sure exactly for, maybe for the spa, I guess. Then we've got tea and coffee, Pringles, and a kettle, which is great. And then, have I missed anything? Oh yeah, over on this side, sorry, come back over here. We've even got a fridge. So that is a massive plus, because then you can have nice cold drinks when it's really hot. Follow me into the bathroom. So this is a really cool bathroom space. It's very kind of cozy feel in here. Got a rainfall shower just in the middle of the bathroom. We've also got a place to hang your towels. At the moment I'm just hanging my wet bikini. And then we've got a toilet and a really big mirror and sink. And then to the outside area of the villa, we've got a lovely wraparound balcony, and then on this side we've got 2 bean bags just to sit and chill, and then we've also got space to hang our towels. And then over here we've got even more seating. Got some lovely bamboo chairs and a table if you want to come and sit, relax with a drink. And then round here on another part of the balcony we've even got a lovely cozy sofa. And the best bit about this balcony is we're a little bit higher up, and hence the name of the villa, Panoramic Villa. We've got incredible views of the ocean and also the rest of the resort. And then we're going to go down the steps to our very own plunge pool. Just what you need on a day like today. It's so hot, but this is so refreshing. Ooh.
After finishing the room tour, me and Hannah spent some time just chilling in our plunge pool there, and they have goats around here. And we've seen pictures of these goats going to the plunge pools and drinking out of them. And two of them, I think it was a mom and a baby goat, were coming up towards us. And they hadn't seen that we were in the plunge pool yet. And the baby popped its head up over the side, right into my face pretty much. And we made each other jump and they ran away. But then we went back to our room to get changed and we looked over the balcony and there was two goats kneeling over the side and drinking the water, which was really cool. So yeah, that was a fun experience. But what we're going to do now is we're going to head off to the rest of the resort to show you guys what other facilities they have.
As we just started leaving the villa, we just noticed some of the goats starting to go up towards our villa. So we'll probably come back to a load of goats in the pool. So just coming down from the villa, this is the restaurant area. It's got a really nice kind of beach feel, got some sand, and it's just really, really relaxing. This is where we had our welcome drinks earlier, and we'll come back here for dinner.
As Hannah mentioned, the restaurant's floor is completely covered in sand, and the restaurant is actually called the Sand Restaurant. It has incredible views out across the beach and into the ocean, which is really cool. And it's got a very relaxed vibe. And there's also the big infinity pool just behind us there, where you can come and relax as well if you don't have one of the plunge pools. But we've got the plunge pool as well, so we can do both. So we've got the privacy of our plunge pool, but also the bigger pool that we can come and have fun in as well.
They even have their very own bar, which is right opposite next to the beach. And they even do a happy hour where you get 2 for 1 on cocktails.
So in front of the bar, there's a few sandbags and seating areas, and they've also got plenty of sun lounges in front of the pool and behind us here where you can come and chill. And there is going to be a sunset over here this evening, so it'll be the perfect place to come and relax to the sound of the ocean and watch a beautiful sunset. The location of this resort is on the northwest of the island here, and all of the other resorts, there's not very many of them at all on this island, there's only a handful anyway, but there are other ones where we were last week in the eco resort are all down on the south of the island, so we feel a lot more isolated, a lot more private here, and it definitely feels a lot more secluded to everyone else. And if you don't feel like eating at the resort's restaurant here every night, it's about a 15-minute walk along the beach to the south of the island where you can go check out some of the other restaurants.
We just watched a really nice sunset and we've just come down to the restaurant for dinner, and there's also a special event going on this evening where they've got like a barbecue set up, so you have to let them know in advance so they know how many people that they need to cook for. But we've just ordered one traditional dish and one less traditional Indonesian dish, and we've just had some bread arrive, but it's really nice and relaxing. Just can see the ocean from the restaurant, and we've got a lovely cup of cold water. So our main meal has arrived, and I went with the beef rendang, which is like a traditional Indonesian dish. I've got rice, vegetables, and then it's like a beef curry. Apparently it's spicy, so I have to see how spicy it is. And Jonny went for the cheeseburger, which comes with chips, and also we've got some extra spicy sauce.
Good morning, everybody. After eating dinner last night, about midnight, I woke up and my tummy was hurting, and I've been food poisoned enough while I was travelling now that I knew exactly what it was, and I was like, oh, here we go again, for about the millionth time. Not on this trip, but over the years that we've been travelling, I've been food poisoned quite a bit. And by about 1 a.m. in the morning, I started being sick, and we had only eaten breakfast at another place, and we had only had dinner here. We didn't have lunch anywhere, and by about 6 hours later, I was being sick. So by process of elimination, it must have been the burger that I ate yesterday. And this place has only been open a year, so there is going to be some teething issues and stuff, but food cleanliness should, at a place like this, should be top priority. So we have fed it back to them, so we've let them know, and they are going to check their burger patés. But it could have been anything. It could have been the lettuce or any of the other stuff on the plate, but Hannah had her food, didn't make her sick, so, and that tasted really good. So we're probably not going to be eating here again tonight. We'll go to one of the other restaurants. But other than that, waking up to this view this morning was absolutely spectacular. We had the blinds all open so we could just see the magnificent view, which was really nice. And we're probably going to head down to breakfast now, and hopefully that's all okay. But it wasn't the worst food poisoning. I was sick a few times, and then I was able to get back to sleep, and actually I feel pretty good now. So we're going to go make the most of the day and check out other bits of the island, I think. All joking aside, food poisoning is no joke, and whilst the food poisoning that I had last night was not very serious, it was only throwing up for a little bit and then I was able to sleep and it wasn't reoccurring, which was nice. We do try to take it very serious on our trips and our travels, because it can wipe you out for, you know, quite a long time, especially if you get it pretty bad. And we've had like water poisoning before, we've had food poisoning before that's wiped us out for several days. And yeah, we don't want to get into that situation, so we're always quite serious and asking if the water's been filtered, if ice cubes have been filtered and stuff. And you'd expect a place like this to be pretty on it with their food quality and their food hygiene. So, you know, we always accept that things can happen, you know, anywhere in the world. Food can be not cooked properly, or someone's missed something, or not cleaned something properly. So, you know, it's not the end of the world. But from this experience, we would probably say we can't recommend a restaurant here just because of that experience. But the accommodation so far is very comfortable. The bed was very comfortable. But yeah, we're going to go try breakfast now, and hopefully that's better. But yeah, we wouldn't recommend having dinner here purely because of our experience so far.
So for breakfast, I went for the really healthy option and got the fluffy pancakes. They look super, super chunky and really tasty, and it comes with like a butterscotch sauce. So really excited to try that. We also got some fresh pineapple juice, and Jonny went for the very healthy option of a smoothie bowl, which looks very colourful. We've decided to come and chill by the pool today, and we found one of the last in the shade sunbeds. It's really nice because we were just right a couple of steps to the beach that way and a couple of steps to the pool that way. So yeah, I think it's going to be hard to pull ourselves away from here today and do anything, but we'll see how we get on. Good morning everyone from Gili Asahan. We spent the day yesterday recovering and just chilling yesterday. After Jonny wasn't feeling so great, so that was really nice just to let ourselves relax and spend basically most of the day by the pool, which was very, very nice and very, very needed, because we have been a bit on the go for the last month, which has been great, but also I think the tiredness has caught up with us. But this morning it's going to be a day of adventure. We're going to show you around the island and actually walk around the whole island, hopefully if we can do that, which will be exciting, and show you guys around. This morning I am going to start it off with doing some yoga.
We've come down to breakfast and we have just had some fruit and some juices, and we're waiting for our main part of breakfast to come, but we're just fueling up this morning, ready for our big walk around the island. Apparently it's supposed to take about an hour and a half according to the internet, but the people we've spoken to said it's a little bit quicker. We did walk back to the Eco Lodge last night for dinner, which we didn't film, but that only took about 10 minutes. So we can't imagine it's going to take too long. So maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half, we're going slow, and we're going to go explore. There's apparently a small botanical gardens. There's the old abandoned pearl farm, which we'll see, and we'll also walk through the local village where there's about 35 families that actually live on the island. So that'll be interesting to see. And then we'll probably come back here and relax. Our mains have just arrived, and I went for the muesli and fruit this morning, which looks absolutely delicious and very refreshing. And Hannah's gone for the eggs, basically. I think it's called the King Benny, so is it a Benedict egg? Is that what you say?
Eggs Benedict.
Yeah, so Hannah's gone for the healthy option again.
Yeah, get my eggs.
So yeah, we'll just go tuck into this and then we'll go for our walk. We have just started our walk around the island, and on the beaches here there's a lot of washed up coral, and it's very sharp and hard to walk on, so we'll be wearing our sandals for most of the walk, although this section just outside of where we're staying at Blue Mathis is quite soft and sandy and with not much coral on this bit, so it's quite nice and soft. But yeah, just to protect our feet we're going to be wearing our sandals, because back down by the Eco Lodge on the other side of the island it's very, very corally there and very sharp, so yeah, cut our feet a few times, but it's nice to have the sandals to have a nice easier walk. I'm not sure if we've mentioned this during our time on the island here, but there is no vehicles, so if you want to get anywhere it is by foot, and the only way to get on and off the island is by boat, so it feels very remote here and a really cool places to come and relax in nature. We are also on a hunt for a really good snorkeling spot, as it's our last day on the island today, so we're going to go for a walk around the whole island and look for some good snorkeling spots. And we do think there is a place up by this rock here that we have been recommended, and flying the drone yesterday as well we could see sandy bottoms under the water, because it's quite shallow here and the coral is very sharp and it's quite close to the surface, so it's really difficult to snorkel, and the current's quite strong as well, so we need a little bit more depth and sand to have a really good snorkel and go find some fish as well.
So Jonny just mentioned that the beaches are mostly all made of coral, and when the tide comes in it brings up all the coral, and it's all here. It's just like the remnants of the coral on the beach. There's loads and loads of it, which is what makes it really sharp. But there's quite a few like shells as well, like here. Look how cool these shells are. Really pretty. And then like different colours of coral.
And it'll all grind down into sand.
Yeah, and then it all turns into this.
We've just got to a point where there's a fence coming across, and there was a fisherman who's obviously been out early this morning fishing, who's fast asleep in his little hut, and we've just come to the bit where all the goats are, and we've got to work past them, but they're all kind of running away from us.
They're getting freaked out. Look at the babies.
So yeah, we've got to get through this fence because the tide's all the way in at the moment, so we can't walk around on the beach in that rock, and I think that's one of the only obstacles that we'll face on the walk around the island today. So luckily there is a fence and a gate here.
Oh, the bottom bit's undone so. Sliding. They look really freaked out.
We are now on the northwestern part of the island, and because of the big rock that we just worked our way around, it's very sheltered here, so the water's a lot more calm. There's not really a current here, and it's very shallow as well, so we think that there's a good snorkeling spot, might just be a little bit further off over there off the rock, but there's literally no one here, and it's very isolated up here because basically Blue Mathis, where we're staying, is the most isolated resort on the island. There's not very many anyway, but from here on out till we get round to the village on the southern side of the island, there's literally nothing here. We are almost at the northern part of the island, and we've just come across this dive resort which wasn't on the map when we were looking, so this must be fairly new. I'm not sure how long it's been here, but it definitely wasn't on Google Maps when we were looking. But it's really cool because they've got lots of signs here saying don't enter here, because obviously you can damage the coral and the seagrass, which is very important to the biodiversity around here. So we were asking the guys where the best place to snorkel on the island was, and they said literally here. And they said it's really good because it only goes down to about 3 meters past the reef, and also in the shallow bit where the sand is here we can see seahorses, and they're saying there's lots of them, and they're about this big. So once we finish our walk around the island, we're going to come back here later and hopefully we can see some seahorses, and they said we might even be lucky and see a turtle as well. It's really good that the guys here have very clear entry and exit signs to where to go snorkeling, because so many of the tourists around here just stamp on the reef, they're standing on the seagrass and damaging the marine life around and damaging the habitats. It's very sensitive and very easy to damage, so it's really important that you don't tread or don't hit with your flippers on the coral or on the seagrass, and actually you start swimming and go in where it's a little bit deeper, so you're not scraping along the reef, that would hurt yourself but also damage the marine life as well. So it's really cool how they've actually set up these signs, because I think that's the first time in this trip that we've actually seen specific entry and exit points to the reef. Just when I was saying about the dive school, the dive resort, how I couldn't see it on Google Maps on the northern section, it's because we were a little bit disorientated because we walked around the island quite quick actually. So we were actually getting to the southern eastern section of the island now, and that's why we can see the island where we kayaked to in last week's episode. So the northern section is very barren, and I think Blue Mathis is the furthest resort up there. So we had just walked around much further than I expected. So yeah, Google Maps is right, I think.
We have made it back to the spot we were at earlier this morning, and there's hardly anybody here now. There were a couple of snorkelers over there, but I think everyone's gone back to have lunch. So we've got the whole place to ourselves, which is really nice. Hopefully we spot some good stuff. We've got the underwater GoPro with us now, so let's see what we can find. So snorkeling was amazing. Couldn't believe the amount of different fish and corals that we saw. The colours were incredible. Like we saw amazing vibrant blue coral, pink, yellow, and all types of different fishes and different shapes and sizes. It was just really worth it. Worth me coming all the way back here to get the snorkeling gear. And we didn't see any seahorses, unfortunately, but I think we maybe saw lots of tiny seahorses. There was like a little cloud of them, and they were all just like, you almost needed like binoculars to see exactly what they were, so we might have to fact check that. But yeah, so diverse on the types of different corals, different fish there. Really cool as well how they're managing it, where they've got entry and exit points signed, and they've also got a sign telling you like the rules of making sure that you don't step on the coral, make sure that you don't touch anything underwater either, don't disturb it, make sure that you're wearing reef safe sun cream, which we did all of that. So it's really cool what they're doing. And also they had areas where they were planting coral, and they were like these big metal crates. There were all sorts of different shapes, and they had coral like basically stuck onto it in different places. So they're trying to like regenerate the coral as well in that area. So that was really interesting to see. Definitely worthwhile doing that today, and I'm really glad that we saved the best till last. So every time we want to leave the resort, apart from where we walked this morning because we were going clockwise, we're going anti-clockwise, and you have to go up the steps. But it's a really cool sunset spot as well, so there's a few people already at the top, but this is the way we're going because we're going here over this side for dinner. So we've come back to the Eco Lodge for dinner, our last dinner here on the island, and we, surprise, we've had pizza again. But I've mixed up a little bit, and this evening I've gone for the tuna pizza with olives, which looks really good. Also got some chocolate milkshakes, and Johnny went for the same one he had last time, which was the Diavola.
We're just walking back from dinner, and every night for the last 5 nights we've been seeing these like trails in the sand in the morning, and there's hundreds of them. And at first we were thinking, well, maybe it's mice or rats or something, and then we were thinking maybe it's lizards, because they're very close together little feet, and it's got almost like a trail for its tail up behind, and we just couldn't work out what they were. And then we've just been walking back from dinner now, and we've just seen 3 hermit crabs crawling across the beach, leaving that identical trail behind them. So we've just worked out, and we've saved the 5-day mystery that it's hermit crabs leaving all the trails in the morning.
So the walk back from the restaurant is interesting. We've had our lights on and just realised we could have had the vlogging camera light, which is way brighter. But it's really cool because all the little crabs as well, when you're walking along the beach, they're just like scurrying because they obviously can hear your footsteps coming. And the tides come in quite a bit, so there isn't as much room to walk along the beach. We've just come back to the section which is really close now to the hotel, where we start walking up the steps and over the rocks. So we're almost back, and it's been quite the adventure. It's an amazing clear night, so you can see loads of stars, and Johnny just saw a shooting star as well, which is pretty cool. So a very epic way to end our adventure here on the island. We've made it back to the villa, and our tummies are full after a very satisfying meal, and we're going to be spending the rest of the evening, I think, before we get really tired, because we're very tired, in here in our very own private pool, which is just what we needed after all that walking today. My legs are very grateful to be in the nice cool water. But that's the end of this week's episode. We really hope you enjoyed watching all of our time here staying at Blue Mathis on Gili Asahan, and we're really excited to share our guides with you at some point soon, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe to our newsletter so that you can be notified when they go live, and let us know in the comments what your favourite bit of this video was, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you are notified for future videos. And if you're even more a dedicated follower, you can give us a donation on our Buy Us a Coffee page, and that will help us with continuing to make these videos, and we'll see you in the next one.